Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your StockWatch list, trade ideas list for tomorrow, Tuesday, the 5th of March. Also, we'll talk about the markets a little bit. We had a little bit of a pullback today in the markets, so we'll go over that. The Dow Jones ended up the day down 206. Intraday was a little bit worse than that. We bounced off the lows. We were down almost 400 points at one point on the Dow. Now, we were up this morning. The market did gap up this morning on China trade news, but then we kind of sold off. The market continued to sell off, but we ended up on the Dow down about 206 points. The Nasdaq was down 18 points, and the S&P 500 that was down 11 points for the day. So we had volatility picking up a little bit of steam today. It closed at today 14.63 on the VIX. We were up about almost 8% change on the VIX today. Oil was up a little under 1.5% for the day. The China internet stocks were up over 1% for the day. Oil USO, the ETF, light sweet crude oil, up over 1% on the day. To the downside today, we had the software stocks, application software stocks, took a little bit of a pullback today. The PSJ was down over 2% on the day. Cybersecurity was down over 2% on the day. The IGV, this is also the software application index, down a little under 1% on the day. The ITA, the Aero and Defense Index, down over 1.5% on the day. The marijuana ETF pulled back a little bit, down 1.25% for the cannabis ETF. We'll go ahead and take a look at a few of the sectors. The home builders were up today on this down day. The home builders just up under 1%. The XOP was up just under 1% there, a little over 1.5% on the oil and exploration index there. The XLB, which is the materials ETF, was up a little under 0.5% on the day. To the downside, we had the retailers taking a little bit of hit, down almost 2% on the day. The airline sector was down a little under 2% on the day. The healthcare and equipment ETF was down a little under 1.5% on the day. And the healthcare stocks ETF was down 1.33% here, 1.36%. The XLV on the day. The top stock in the Dow today was Dow DuPont, up 1.75%, followed by Intel, up 1.25% on Intel Corporation. To the downside today, UNH took a big hit. United Healthcare Group in that XLV, down over 4% on the day. WBA, Walgreens Boots Alliance, was down almost 3% on the day. Mickey D's was down a little under 2.5% on the day. And Boeing pulled back almost 2% on the day. And their Nike also pulled back about 1.75% on the day. Some of the stocks in the Dow. In the S&P 500 today, we had Dish had a nice day, almost up 4%. Pulte Homes was up 3.5% on the day. DHI, Horton, DR Horton, was up 3% for the day. A little bit of a comeback here in Kraft Heinz. They got an upgrade by Morgan Stanley this morning. That stock up 2.5% on the day. Your heat map for today, courtesy of FinViz. We had Google up today. Facebook was the big winner out of the FANG names, up over 3% on the day for Facebook. Amazon had a good day, just up under 1.5% on the day for Amazon. And Apple was up 1.5%. You can see the red across the screen. But the FANG names were getting some buying today in those names. Amazon got a price target increase. I believe it was up to like 1900 price target on Amazon, so that helped elevate that stock today. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the SPY. We're not going to go through all the indexes. We'll try to keep the video as short as possible, but we did get a pullback down to the 20 SMA. This is kind of a bearish type of engulfing candle here on this SPY. Now we have to see if we get a follow through day tomorrow. We came up to about the 20 SMA. The low today was 276.84. The 20 SMA is at 275.96. So within that ballpark of the 20 SMA. And the bulls did step in. We did get some dip buying here as we got closer to that 20 SMA. They pushed us back up and they closed us back above the 10 SMA and back above the 5 EMA. Now we need to see what happens tonight with the futures and what kind of candle we're going to get on the close for tomorrow for the SPY. If we get a continuation candle to the downside, then you could kind of say this candle was confirmed. But we're going to have to see what the next candle is going to be here on the SPY. And the reason, you always need a reason. Why does the market go down? Now, we've been talking about it, the weekly on the SPY. Sorry for all the lines here. I'll get those out of your way. But the reason, look at us. We've been up since December, straight up for almost 9-10 weeks here on the SPY. So we're due for a little bit of a pullback in the markets. Not looking for anything too severe, depending on the market news out there. But we did get a slight pullback, and the dip buyers did show up. But anyway, China news came out over the weekend that a deal was getting closer between the United States and China. So now everybody's wondering what's going to be within that deal. Is it going to be everything that has been talked about? What type of deal is going to be made between the U.S. and China? And maybe some of that news is already kind of in the markets already, and today was a little bit of profit taking. But as you can see, that little dip there was bought right up. So we'll have to see what tomorrow is going to bring. But we do have a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle here. And also, we'll keep an eye on the RSI here, the 14 RSI. Go ahead and increase that up. We are floating below that 70 number now on the RSI. So we did pull back from 70. Let's see what they want to do here with the RSI, if they're going to push us back down to maybe that 50 spot on the RSI and, move us back up from there. So watching my indicator RSI as with little steam comes out of the market here and what tomorrow is going to bring. We'll be watching the futures in the overnight session tonight. We did get some earnings that came out after the bell tonight. This news courtesy of the Trade Exchange. LJPC earnings per share revenue beat. That stock moving down in the after hours. Salesforce CRM had earnings after the bell tonight. They earnings per share beat by 15 cents. Revenue beat. The CRM is guiding fiscal year earnings per share in line. CRM guides Q1 earnings per share slightly lower, so that getting a little bit of a pullback in the after hours tonight on CRM. So keep an eye on that stock for tomorrow. Maybe a possible reversal play in CRM. GME GameStop declares quarterly cash dividend, announces intent to retire 2019 notes there on GME GameStop. I believe this one was up, up in the after hours on that news for GME. NVTA announces proposed public offering on NVTA, so that stock moving down in the after hours. Also, HZNP coming out with an offering after hours tonight. On that one, let's take a look at it. HZNP, that stock ticking down a little bit in the after hours. ADMS earnings per share revenue beat on ADMS. That stock moving down on that report. We also had after the bell tonight, USAT gets a letter for delisting on USAT Technologies, announces receipt of NASDAQ delisting notification, USAT. That stock moving down in the after hours. Ameren had a little bit of news there. I'll let you read that for yourself if you want to pause the video. Not much reaction on it. HUYA Our China IPO is up in the after hours. They came out with earnings. They beat by 6 cents, beat on revenue for HUYA. Also, CTRP beat by 16 cents and beat on revenue for CTRP. That stock moving up in the after hours tonight. So that's some of your earnings that came out after the bell this evening, courtesy of the Trade Exchange. Some stocks that we traded in the service today. We did start out with Facebook was on our alert, on our watch. They had news this morning, so we got in Facebook on the break of 164.15, and the stock moved up for us 167. Some people peeled some off here, and a little bit of a pullback. Never came back to stop us out, and then pushed further up. So Facebook gave us a real nice trade. We also traded Apple this morning. If you watched the video last night, I talked about Apple if it could get up over this 176.15. Here's the line from the video last night on Apple. It did get up over that 176.15, and it pushed all the way up to 177.57 area on Apple. So that was a trade that we did this morning. And so here's the Facebook alert. Here's the Apple alert. We also talk about them on the microphone. We call them out over the microphone. Then we started getting to some of the China plays. China plays were very hot today. CIFS was a carryover from Friday. We had traded this on Friday last week, and then I was watching it again today. We took it up over this 545 spot, and it came up to about a 40-cent move on CIFS. So nice alert for everybody in the room there. We also traded JMU. We traded JMU twice. JMU, we traded it over this $1.80 spot this morning. It perked up, it popped up, pulled back on us, so we got out here. Then it made that big move. We missed this part of the move, but we caught this part of the move on JMU. Later in the afternoon, though, we got another chance at it, and we took it over $3.15 and a nice push up on JMU. So we got two trades out of that one. JRJC, another China name that we traded in the service today near the close. This one we got up over 203, and the stock pushed up to about 223, 220 in that area on JRJC. So a couple of afternoon trades on JRJC and JMU. For earnings tomorrow, we get NIO in the morning, the China electric car maker, NIO. That'll be reporting before the bell Tuesday morning. Target comes out with earnings. Kohl's also reporting earnings tomorrow before the bell. After the bell, you get Urban and Ross. Stores will be reporting earnings. After that, you get Dollar Tree on Wednesday before the open, and BJ's reporting earnings in the next couple of days. This earnings brought to you by Earnings Whisper. Some stocks that had some unusual call activity today. This courtesy of the Trade Exchange. On March call activity. MEOH activity on the April 65 calls on MEOH, and CARS March 25 call activity on that name. To the put side, you had Momo, GPS, HES, CTL, STT, and SCHW. Unusual put activity on those names. Tesla came out with some news today. Tesla's new Model Y will be revealed on March 14th. This is the news that came out Friday on Tesla. It was looking good on Friday. Tesla just paid off to a $920 million bond with cash. And then today they came out with news, a tweet by Elon Musk, that their Model Y will be revealed on March 14th. So that's next week for Tesla. So keep an eye on Tesla. And as you can see, Tesla did not fare too well today. Kind of a weak day for Tesla, down about 3% on the day, stays below that 300 spot, remaining under the 200 SMA on the daily chart for TSLA. So as you can imagine, the watch list is going to be a little light tonight. I have a few names that I'm going to be watching tomorrow, but I'm going to be watching for news plays tomorrow and gap ups mostly from my Trade Ideas scanners. But one that that I'll be watching is this ATEC. 1.5 million shares came into this name today. Medical instruments was popping up. Kind of a slow grinder, though. So we'll see on that one. ATIS had a strong moment here in the markets, but then kind of in the after hours now, it's kind of pulling back. You see this topping tail, this shadow on this candle here. So I'm not in love with this, but it did get this big expanding volume. So we'll see on that one. AWSM was riding right into the close here and into the after hours. So this AWSM will be on watch tomorrow. Blink was perking up today. A lot of fits and starts in this name, BLNK. If you notice the daily chart here, flagging below that $4 area, BLNK. Keep that one on watch. BPTH, we got a nice trade in BPTH early in the session. We caught one of these candles right in here for the nice pop up. We actually traded it again a second time right here for a nice pop up on BPTH. So 2 trades in that one. CGC, I'm always watching the cannabis names. CGC has Martha Stewart involved with it now, basing under that $50 spot on CGC. So I'll have that on watch. CRON is always on watch each and every day, so that'll be on watch. CRM, I'll be watching this one to see if it can reverse back up. This is a 2-minute chart. I'll be watching CRM tomorrow on a 2-minute chart. See if we can perk back up above VWAP maybe on CRM. What else? JMU will be on watch again tomorrow, and some of the other China names, JRJC, KNDI with NEO coming out with earnings tomorrow before the bell. If their earnings are good, or if it's met with approval and the market likes what it hears, you could see some of these electric car companies moving up again. So it's going to kind of rest on NEO, I guess, tomorrow morning. So NEO will be on watch, KNDI will be on watch, SOLO will be on watch, FUV will be on watch, although I don't really like to trade this one intraday. It's a pretty has a wide stops and soft volume in it, but KNDI and NIO and SOLO will be on watch. NCTY was moving up in the after hours and into the close tonight. NCTY, this is what is this thing? Electronic gaming and multimedia. Nice daily chart shaping up here, so I'll have that one on watch. Of course, now with the market pulling back, we'll have to keep an eye on TIVX, so I'll be watching TIVX. TZA is another one I'll be watching. It's an inverse for the IWM, so I'll have that on watch if the market's going to show any other some more weakness tomorrow. So I'll be watching TZA, or you can watch the QID, SPXU, whatever one is your fancy there. UVXY, will move up with some volatility, the same as TIVX will move up with volatility. So those will be on watch. VUZI was having a strong day today. VUZI with a nice move up and then kind of peeled back. Another one of those with a big shadow here as it got up near the 50 SMA. Volume 1.5 million, so not in love with that. AXPA was popping up. It's coming up to its 200 SMA. It recently did a 1 for 20 reverse split here on XSPA. So this was getting some volume. It pushed up into the close here a little bit. So we'll see what they want to do with that one. YRIV, big volume today. Let's see if there's any more left in the tank on this name on YRIV. YY had earnings after the bell. That one is moving up in after hours tonight. So I'll have that one on watch. And then this other China name. Now this one can be very spready during the intraday session, but it closed strong tonight, ZKIN. So this will be on watch for tomorrow. All right, this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. If you were ever curious about my service, we do have a $30 for 30 days monthly trial for you. You pay up $30. You get to be in my service for a month and come trade with us, $1 per day. All right, this is Mike from Zozo Stock.